third quarter ended. 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, Newark Catholic responded and tied the game 7-7 in regulation time, ended, and the game went into overtime. Carey received possession first in overtime and scored on their first play with a 10-yard touchdown pass from Greer to tight end Dennis Kessler in the right corner of the end zone. For what turned out to be the championship clinching touchdown. The Blue Devils, however, lined up, faked the extra point attempt as Hunter Greer handed the ball off to Northwest District running back of the year, Dave Myers, and the Blue Devils were successful on the 2-point conversion to take a 15-7 lead. That would put pressure on Newark Catholic to score and convert a 2-point play in order to tie the game. However, Newark Catholic gained just 2 yards on the first down running play, being stopped by Steve Nye and all NCC defensive standout Don Water. The Irish then threw straight incompletion passes as Carey earned their first state championship title. Coached by Thomas Geschwin, the Blue Devils went just 2-7 the season prior. Heading into the 75 season, Coach Geschwin decided to implement a platoon-style approach and had only one player, Dennis Kessler, start on both offense and defense, and encouraged his team to keep on struggling. Geschwin was voted the Northwest District Coach of the Year and accepted the award on behalf of his staff, Ed Holtelling, Nick Long, and John Romeli. To commemorate this special achievement, Carey's team tonight will be wearing throwback jerseys donated by the Carey Athletic Boosters. We would now like to introduce members of the football team, cheerleaders, band and flag corps, as well as coaches who were present for our 50th anniversary tailgate party. First, our team and coaches. As I call your name, please raise your hand. Rich Frederick. Coach Tom Geschwin. Greg Cup. Brad Dybel. Tom Tolan. Kevin Traxler. Mike Boyce. Tony Ray, John Greer, Tom McLaughlin, Tom Myers, Scott Blair, Bob Buckland, Dennis Kessler, Nick Long, Matt Williams, Ellie Thomas, John Orients, Tim Sham Baldridge, Matt Williams, Darren Cheney, and Tim Reisner. I'd also like to introduce those 1975 football coaches, players, and managers who are no longer with us but represented tonight. First, Mr. Ed Holtelling. Donnie Water, represented by his sister Karen. Dave Wade, represented by Terry Poole. Randy Snook, represented by his mother, Pat Snook. Tim Reisner, represented by his sisters, Pam Stock and Paula Blair. And band director, David Mowry. Our cheerleaders in attendance, Denise Stahl-Nye, Laura Bain-Nally, Lori Bowes, and Jane Myers. Also representing the band and flag corps, Karen Phillips, Ann Bain, Diane Orients, Karen Kin, Melinda Faber, Karen Durr, Brenda Blair, Christy Williams, Terry Harrison Draper, and Emily Barridge McCarthy. I may also represent or call out the name of Dave Mace. Yes, thank you. Also in attendance, Mr. Keith Traxler. At center field for the coin toss, representing Carey was Coach Getchwin and Coach Long. Again, please give a big round of applause to your representatives of the 1975 Class A State Football Champions, the Carey Lions.
For the second consecutive week, Wentling Field will host a Northern 10 showdown with first place on the line. The Carey Blue Devils sit at the top of the standings, but the visiting Mohawk Warriors are just one game back and want a piece of the Northern 10 title. It's Friday Night Football, Northern 10 style, next on the OH Report.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
Hi, I'm Eric Gilbert.
And I'm Hannah Gilbert with American Homestead Exteriors.
And together,
we're here for you.
So I'd worked for several years for other contracting companies, and what I saw missing was the true customer focus. I wanted that to be the focus of our company, that we put the customer first no matter what, and that's what's made us successful. Hannah and I joke between us that we share the same brain. We have the same ideas, same thoughts, we have the same direction for the company, we have the same focus. When we're on site, we teach the customers about the roof, the age of the roof, what's going on, maybe what caused the damage, along with siding, windows, or any project we take on.
When you call in, you're talking to me, and I'm getting you scheduled on his calendar to come out and take a look at your property. We like to teach homeowners about their homes as we're walking through them together. I think it's very important. It's the most expensive thing you're ever going to purchase in your lifetime, and you should really understand what is happening to it and how we can help you make it even better than what it was before.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Happy Halloween!
Good evening and welcome to Carey High School for another championship battle in the Northern 10 Athletic Conference. I'm Mark Bollinger along with Josh Banks, and for the second straight week, we are getting ready to bring you a game with championship implications. Following Carey's thrilling win over Colonel Crawford last week, Now the Blue Devils become the hunted, not the hunter. And hunting for that win and a share of first place tonight is the 7-1 Mohawk Warriors.
Yeah, and how about this? We kind of had it last week. Colonel Crawford comes in, a win last week for the Eagles kind of would have clinched them an if so facto N10 title. Instead, Carey pulls off the upset. Now Mohawk comes to Wentling Field, and they're looking to pull off the upset. A win by Carey tonight, Mark, clinches them the N10 title. A win by Mohawk, and as long as everything plays out the way it should, we got a three-way tie.
Well, we are excited to bring you the Sycamore Telephone Company pregame show here tonight on a special night at Carey High School. They are honoring the 1975 team on the 50th anniversary of that 75 championship team. They beat Newark Catholic 15-7 to win the Class A title back in 1975. And then, of course, they also won a state title in 2021.
Yeah, they do a great job here at Carey. It's kind of become a football community here in Blue Devil country. But we got the Mohawk Warriors pulled up on the screen right now, Mark, and they are led by head coach Eric Daniel. And this is a team that I don't think anybody thought was going to have the season that they are having, sitting at 7-1, 4-1 in the N10. That one loss coming to Colonel Crawford. How about this? 41 points per game, and they only allow 10.
This is a team that can absolutely light up the scoreboard. As you said, first in the N10 in scoring, a dynamic offense, and that offense has helped propel them to be currently sitting in 5th place in Region 26 in Division 7.
Yeah, and the big reason that offense is as good as it is the dual threat quarterback, the junior, Mr. Andon Klaus. I mean, listen, he's second on the team in rushing yards. He's thrown for 14 touchdowns to 1 interception at a 66.7 completion percentage. And he's also ran for 680 yards. How about 23 touchdowns for the young man?
He has done it all for this team. And as we've said, they have a chance tonight to pull off the win here at Carey, get themselves into a tie for first place, and a lot of that is going to be dependent on the arm and the legs of Mr. Andon Klaus. Now let's flip the script and take a look at the home team, the team coming off the big win last week, shocking the Northern 10, taking care of business, winning their 5th straight game, the Carey Blue Devils.
Yeah, 5 in a row after the phenomenal non-conference schedule they played. They've won 5 in a row. They're averaging, the thing is, they only average 26.5 points a game. They allow 15 a game, but defensively, they're the #1 team in the N10 in yards per contest allowed.
Well, we talked about it last week a little bit. Carey started the season 0-3 non-conference, 3 tough games. Then they jump into Northern 10 play, and that preseason non-conference schedule got them ready. They've reeled off 5 straight as we see the Carey Blue Devils coming out tonight in the old school blue. They're honoring that 1975 team, and they're breaking out the throwback jerseys.
And how about the throwback style of football that this man right here plays? Our player spotlight for the Blue Devils, we got to see him up close and personal last week as he was our MVP, Mr. Dash Puckett. 646 yards, leads the team in touchdowns. Hey, how about defensively, though? He's second on the team in tackles with 73.
The most impressive thing to me is that he averages over 10 yards a carry, 2 big touchdown runs over 60 yards last week, helped secure that impressive win over Colonel Crawford to put Carey in first place all by themselves. The Blue Devils 5-3, as we said, 5-0 in the Northern 10, sitting in 7th place in Region 22, Division 6.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's going to be fun tonight, but I didn't get a chance to talk with you, so I threw in our keys to victory for Mohawk, Mark, and this is what I think it's going to take to beat Carey at home tonight. You got to win in the trenches against this Blue Devils team. Offensively, defensively, we've seen Carey send a lot of linebacker pressure last week, and those linebackers would come through and hit Connor McMichael untouched, or they'd hit Braden Holt, or they'd hit everybody in the backfield for Crawford got hit by a linebacker at some point. And then no turnovers. Crawford threw a pick last week. I think they also had a fumble last week. You can't have turnovers against this Blue Devil team because they're going to run the clock down as much as they can.
Well, Mohawk has a lot to prove tonight, and as you said, excuse me, on both sides of the ball, it has to start up front.
And when we flip the script, take a look at the Blue Devils of Carey, their keys to victory tonight. These ones I'll let you tell us about.
Well, we talked about the running game of Mr. Puckett. Well, let's talk about the other Mr. Puckett. Dash and Mace combined. The ground and pound running game, they're going to eat up yards and eat up the clock. Those two, 771 yards on the season for Mace, 646 for Dash. You total them up, you're looking at almost 180 yards per night on the ground. Look for the Blue Devils to take possession of the football and look to keep it and finish the drives with touchdowns.
And how about on the other side, you got to contend Andon Klaus. He's been the dual threat guy. We didn't talk about Caden Bish, who we kind of talked about a little bit pregame. 17 rushing touchdowns on the year for the Warriors, and I want to say 900-plus yards on the ground. He's a threat as well, but when Andon Klaus can beat you with his arm and beat you with his legs, that's who you have to contain if you're Carey.
Yeah, we're in week 9, and so when you look at these stats, you know, you have 8 games worth of statistics. It's not an anomaly, but you look at both sides. Dash Puckett, 10.4 yards per carry for the Blue Devils. On the other side for Mohawk, Caden Bish, 10 yards per carry. Just amazing statistics by 2 running backs, 1 for each club tonight, and the running game is going to be absolutely critical. So again, we are getting ready for kickoff here at Carey High School. Thanks again to Sycamore Telephone Company for sponsoring our pregame show tonight. Getting ready for our second straight week at Wentling Field with first place on the line and playoff implications everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Mark. The winner of this game tonight can almost clinch themselves a top 8 seed and a home playoff game in week number 11. And for Mohawk, they said, I want to say you said 5th in their region?
They're 5th, region 26.
A win here tonight could propel them and give them a first-round bye and a home playoff game in week number 12.
Absolutely. And while we can sit up here in the press box and talk about the playoffs, but for these guys tonight, it comes down to this game is crucial because you have a chance to do the first thing that typically you put on the list of goals, and that is win a conference championship. Carey in the driver's seat, no doubt about it. The only undefeated in the Northern 10, only team in the Northern 10 Conference that's undefeated. Mohawk 1 game back, a chance to take care of that tonight. And you know the Colonel Crawford Eagles are the biggest fans in the world of the Mohawk Warriors tonight.
I got to speak with a couple Eagles fans last night as I was at Mac Morrison for some volleyball action, and they said, we don't normally cheer on other teams, but we are Mohawk Warrior fans tomorrow night, and we'll be sure to tune in live and free to check it out.
Absolutely. Players and coaches, you always like to be the guys or gals in control of your own destiny. Unfortunately, Colonel Crawford came into Wentling Field last week, walked out of here with a loss at the hands of the Blue Devils, so they need a little bit of help if they're going to come back and get a share of a Northern 10 title.
So it looks like Brant Kiernan and Mason Shemp back deep to return for Mohawk. Caden Bish, one of the up men, along with Owen Patrizzi. So they're expecting, which we seen all last week from Carey, no deep kicks. Everything was kind of a short kick to that first line after the deep return man.
Okay. Kickoff just moments away here. Friday Night Football, live and free on the OH.REPORT. 2 quality teams going at it this evening, and we are thrilled to bring you this Northern 10 matchup.
Getting some things sorted out are the officials. One's going to come across the field. And I apologize for the clock, folks. Once they turn on that video screen here at Carey, it makes it very difficult to see the clock, even from our perspective. Those lights flashing, everything going on over there. I will do my best to keep you guys updated on time as well. But you see our scoreboard sponsor tonight, Danning's Towing and Recovery, up on your screen.
So thanks to them for their sponsorship, and also our first down sponsor tonight.
Yeah, Hawk Hardware here in Carey, sponsoring first downs again this week. Thank you so much for your commitment to Carey Blue Devil football. Plenty of other sponsors as well. Why don't I go ahead and shout them all out here early on since we've got a slight break in the action. Sycamore Telephone Company, Danner's Towing and Recovery, Regina Vent Realty, Klaus Construction, Houck Hardware, American Homestead Exteriors, and North Central State College. Those are the sponsors that you guys can thank for allowing Mr. Bollinger and I the opportunity to bring you this N10 showdown live and free here tonight from Carey.
Well, we got it figured out here. So I saw 3 Mohawk Warriors running down the sideline with the bag of footballs. So they had to get back to the locker room, get their game balls, bring them back out here to the sideline. That's what we were waiting for, because obviously as soon as Carey puts the ball in play, that first offensive drive, they'll be grabbing their own football. So we are underway. Here we go. Battle of 2 of the top teams in the Northern 10, fielded and brought out to about the 33-yard line, and that is where the Mohawk Warriors will take over on their first drive of the night.
Yeah, we're going to see Mr. Andon Klaus for the first drive, and I'm curious to see what Carey comes out here and does offensively against this stout Carey defense.
Andon Klaus, the quarterback for the Mohawk Warriors. 41 points per game for the Warriors, first in the Northern 10. Just absolutely dominant in the first half this season, outscoring opponents 179-32. Can they strike early? First play of scrimmage is a handoff to Bish, and he's going to take it up the middle for a nice gain of about 7.
Yeah, a good run there by Caden Bish, and it's a good job by the Carey offensive line as you've got – you had Dash Puckett there, that middle linebacker kind of up in the box there, sitting between the guard and tackle. Left guard for Carey does a great job of picking him up and giving Caden Bish the hole to run through.
Kyler Bose there on the tackle for the Blue Devils. Brings up a second and a long 2. Klaus, quarterback keeper, straight up the middle off the right side, driven back. And the ball is out.
We'll see what they say. Who's got the football? As that was Mr. Dash Puckett. And I want to say they Mohawk football? Mohawk football.
A little bit of confusion there. One official pointed the other direction, but they will say the fumble was recovered by the Warriors, so no gain on the play. 3rd and 3, big third down here on the opening drive for the Mohawk Warriors.
And this is going to be one of those games, if you're Mohawk, where you can't just run the football. You have to be versatile. We've seen Crawford try to go ground and pound last week, and Carey shut them down.
Klaus with Bish beside him. Handoff, Bish, left side, met, and dives forward, but he's going to be short. They're going to say his knee was down.
Yeah, they're going to say his knee was down. They're actually going to say he lost a yard. Ooh, that's close there, folks. But officials are there to make that call, and now that's going to make it a 4th and 5. 4.5. We'll call it 4th and 4.5. But that's a big play again by this Carey defense.
The Warriors look like they're keeping their offense on the field.
A big call here from Coach Daniel to go for it on your own side in the first quarter. Is this try to get him to jump?
Or a quick kick.
Timeout, Carey.
And Carey is going to take that timeout. But we've seen this in other occasions where they'll line up and then Klaus will catch the snap and then quick kick it. But good start by the Carey defense. We saw them, as you said, just dominate the trenches last week against Colonel Crawford. They were outstanding against that Colonel Crawford run game.
Colonel Crawford came into last week averaging 408 yards of offense, and Carey held them to, I want to say, under 150 for the contest. Crawford had one big play last week. It was a 70-yard touchdown pass from Braden Holt to John DeGray over the middle that kind of brought Crawford back into that game. But then the Carey defense, when they needed to make a play, they made a play, Mark, and I don't expect it to be any different here tonight.
Yeah, that defensive line for Carey just took up so many blockers to let their linebackers make plays a week ago, and they did it on the first few plays from scrimmage tonight.
And how about The running backs we talk about, Mason Dash Puckett, are the 2 middle linebackers for this squad as well.
So out of the timeout, Mohawk goes into the offensive set. 2 wide receivers split. And now he's going to drop back. They tried to get the penalty for the first down. Didn't work. Quick kick. Almost blocked. Good punt.
Great punt by
And
Klaus.
it's going to take a Mohawk roll. And
it goes all the
gets
way into the end zone.
Logan Summit lets it roll by. It goes into the end zone, and Carey will take over after getting a stop on their first defensive possession.
Yeah, Carey will flip the script here. A Houck hardware first down on the punt.
And
we get to see that offense now of the Blue Devils, who don't average a bunch per game, but they love time of possession.
Yep, now coming onto the field is the Carey offense, averaging 26.5 points per game. 242 yards per game on the ground. They love to just beat you up and be tough. Power I. Here we go. Carey offense. Handoff. Left side, and nice gain on first down.
Mace
there
Puckett.
by Mace Puckett.
For those of you new to Carey football, get used to hearing Mason Dash Puckett tonight, because they're the workhorses for the Blue Devils on the offensive side of the ball.
Mace will tote it ahead for 5. Brings up 2nd and 5. This Mohawk defense has been impressive. 10 points per game allowed all season long. They're only giving up 95 yards per game on the ground. So the strength of the Devils is also the strength of this Mohawk defense.
Almost 200 of you out there watching as this is
Handoff,
Dash.
left side, Dash. Moves it ahead for about 7. First down, Blue Devils.
Houck hardware, first down for the Blue Devils, and that's kind of what we seen last week. They came out defensively. They forced a 3-and-out right away from Colonel Crawford, and then they were able to eat a lot of clock. We didn't have a score until the second quarter last week on a 60-yard run from Dash Puckett.
Blue Devils on the 32-yard line. Just picked up their first down. Back to the power I. Under center, number 10, Trip Phoenix. Handoff, first man through. Met at the line of scrimmage. Ball is out. And
It looks like Dash fell on it.
That Dash was able to come up with it. But he was jammed up in the middle, tried to bounce it wide. The ball came out. He did land on it, so Blue Devils will maintain possession, but it's going to be a loss of 7.
It was Caden Bish on the tackle for Mohawk.
Well, Bish is a guy that has 17.5 tackles for loss on the season.
As you see, the big guy, Eli Steen, comes out for blocking purposes, and I guarantee you, I said it last week, you're going to see Eli Steen wherever he motions to, Mark, is where the football is going.
2nd and 17. Steen motions to the left side. Pitch behind him. Puckett, left side, hits his own man and is going to get a short gain, but great job by the Warrior defense to string that out and make the tackle, and I believe it was Klaus.
It was Andon Klaus making the tackle, and now it's a 3rd down for Carey. But this is a 3rd and long, Mark, and this is kind of the situation if you're Coach Merschman for the Blue Devils you don't want to be in. You're not known for throwing the football. Now you're in a 3rd and 13. It's almost a passing situation.
Well, a week ago, we saw Trip Phoenix on several big 3rd downs fake the handoff, keep it, and get to the edge and get a first down. Will we see that? No. Drops the pass. Phoenix, across the middle, caught by Mace. Puckett. Nice gain, but it's going to be short, and it looks like the Warrior defense is going to force a punt.
And that's thoroughly what you and I think both expect in this ball game tonight. A lot of defense. I don't expect to see very many points, but both of these offenses can have explosive plays.
So first drive of the game for Mohawk, they were forced to punt. Carey gets possession, facing 4th and 6. Snap is back, and they will also punt it away.
Almost blocked again as well, just like on the other side.
Another punt that takes a great roll, and it will be down on the 22-yard line. And that's where the Mohawk offense will go back to work.
And it'll be interesting to see what Coach Daniel comes up with offensively. They had the nice run. They had an 8-yard gain on the first play in their last possession up the middle to Bish. And then this Carey defense just kind of rallied around, didn't allow another positive gain the rest of that drive. You got to be able to open it up when you're facing the Blue Devils.
One of the keys to victory we talked about in the STC pregame show was no turnovers for Mohawk. They only have 3 turnovers on the season.
Yeah.
Done a great job of taking care of the football. Jim Tressel would be so proud.
Yes.
Everything ending in a punt or a kick, some kind of a kick. Quick throw to the flat, dropped.
Yeah, that'll be called incomplete.
Yeah, it was a forward pass.
Kieran they were trying to throw him a quick bubble off his hands, and honestly, looking at the replay, I don't know that he would have had very much yardage. A lot of Blue Devils were there waiting for him.
Grant Carey, the intended target, 30 catches on the season, averages over 17 yards per catch. Also scored 6 touchdowns through the air. Primary target for Klaus.
No high safety help here.
With the drop, becomes 2nd and 10. Fake handoff. Klaus looks across the middle. Ball's up in the air and picked off the deflection. And Johnny on the spot right there for the Blue Devils.
Boston Ritter. The awareness to see that football off the tip as it went off the hands of Levi Teal. And there's the first turnover. And it goes the way of the Blue Devils. And now you just gave Carey the football mark on the plus side of the field.
They are going to say that he came down with that on the Mohawk 43, just the 4th turnover of the night, of the season for the Warriors. Phoenix under center. Quick throw to the flat, and it's a backwards pass. They're going to say it was incomplete, but we're almost right down that line, and it looked like the ball went backwards, but no officials were on that line.
Trying to get it to Ritter offensively after the big play he just made on defense. Phoenix a little bit of an overthrow, and now I expect to see Carey come back in and go into that power formation again.
It wouldn't surprise me if you'd see 3 straight runs here.
Yeah.
Even if they don't get the first down, 2nd or 3rd down with this field position.
They're going to go into like a wing T formation look.
Mace Puckett in the backfield behind Phoenix. Dash motions to the left side. Handoff off the left guard and up the middle. And that Carey offensive line gets a good push.
Yeah, the Carey offensive line doing what they do best, get a good push. They're going to get him about 6, it appears. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Looked like the sophomore Rhett Leith on the tackle. Big 3rd down here after the gain of 5 for Mace Puckett. Now they're going back to that power look. Bame, Dash, and Mace behind Phoenix. Phoenix toss. Right side. Hit right near the first down was Mace Puckett. And they're going to say he fell forward and moved the sticks. First down, Blue Devils.
Houck Hardware first down for Carey. Their 2nd of the evening, and they're in positive field position. This is 1,000% 4-down territory for Coach Merschman from here until they put it into the end zone. Phoenix going to come out in the gun, something you don't see.
Yeah, a little pistol look here with Phoenix. Hand off to Dash. Dash right up the middle. Finds a seam, keeps his legs churning. He's going to fight and push the pile ahead. Great effort by Dash Puckett. Moves a couple guys with him and gains 8 on first down.
Yeah, he just moved the whole pile by himself, as you've seen it on the Regina Realty instant replay here tonight. And Carey moving the football.
Well, and if you're playing Carey, that's one of the things that you really have to be aware of is they just wear you down.
Yeah, they're not going to throw it. They throw them one pass.
It's almost like a boxing match where it's just body blow, body blow, body blow, and then they throw the knockout. Phoenix, play action, looking over the top. Has a man, and they're going to
Pass
throw the
interference.
flag. They're going to call the interference on Teal. They went play action looking for Braden Williams.
I just showed everybody on their replay, Mark, and I'll ask you. You watched the play live with me. They threw that flag, but that's almost one of those where that's not a catchable ball. I don't think the receiver can turn and come back and get that football before it hits the ground.
I was thinking the same thing. I mean, I thought it was about 10 yards away. It was a little bit of a check with the hands and the body. I'm not sure the receiver would have got there. However, the flag is thrown, and the ball will be moved down to the 10-yard line.
Megan Bose Cole out there cheering on the Devils. Paul Snyder as well. Lindell Fry cheering on the Warriors. Luann Montz cheering on the Devils. And Dora Rule Brown watching as well. About 60 of you on Facebook and about 140 of you on YouTube.
Handoff, right side. And Mace Puckett takes it to about the 5. So this Mohawk defense only gives up 10 points per game. Can they make a stand here in the red zone? Ball resting just inside the 5-yard line. Kyler Bose checks into the game. He'll line up beside Steen on the right side. Steen motions, resets. Handoff, dash. Spins off the pile, brought down after a short gain. Good job there by the Carey defense. And on the tackle was Logan Heminger, 6 foot, 215-pound defensive lineman.
And I tell you what, Mark, I think last week when we were here, we seen Crawford get a goal line stand against his Carey offense as well. When you're a run-heavy team like the Blue Devils are, being inside the 10 could almost be your worst enemy.
Phoenix looks over the defense. 3rd and goal from the 3. Handoff, first man through is Bame. He's going to take it in, touchdown. And just like that, Carter Bame, the 5'10", 200-pound senior, carries it across the goal line from 3 yards out, and Carey takes an early 6-0 lead.
Yeah, and it's a great job there by the offensive line. You go dash, you go Mace, you go dash, you go Mace, and then you go Carter Bame, first man through up the middle. That's why that power eye is so difficult to stop, and one of the reasons that Carey always seems to make a deep run in the postseason. It's one of the toughest offenses to prepare for because you never know who's going to get the football.
The extra point is up and good, so Carey takes advantage of the tip ball turnover. The interception results in a touchdown, and Carey takes an early 7-0 lead. We'll be back right after this. It's Carey 7, Mohawk 0. Welcome back to Wentling Field at Carey High School, where the Blue Devils, on a night that they are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 1975 state championship team, take a interception 43 yards after the interception, go 43 yards, capped off by a 3-yard touchdown run by Bame. And they have a commanding early 7-0 lead, and they have dominated in the trenches.
Yeah, and it was all the turnover, and then the big difference maker there was the pass interference call, I think, down there inside the red zone. That was a 3rd down for Carey. So we're going to have a delay game on Carey. So that's going to move this kickoff back 5.
So they will kick it from the 35-yard line. Due to the delay game, Mohawk returners step up to about the 25. So a chance for the Warriors to get good field position here as they try to answer the Blue Devils' touchdown. Kick is taken at the 20, 25, 30. Slight little gap, hole, and the ball will be placed at the 37-yard line. So nice return there and decent field position for the Warriors.
And it's kind of a similar situation to what we saw last week. Mohawk has got to answer right here, right now. You do not want to give the Blue Devils the football back up 7-0 right before half.
The Warriors have a balanced attack that throughout the first 8 weeks of the season come in averaging 236 yards per game on the ground, 166 through the air. As you said, first in the Northern 10 in yards per game. So it's a potent offense, and they're going to have to get going here as they're in an early 7-0 hole. Klaus fakes it, keeps it, and right there is Puckett, Mace Puckett with the tackle, and it's going to be another loss of yardage. Warriors finding it tough early in this ball game to get the football moving.
And again, it's the same thing that we seen last week. You know, we've come to know what Carey football is. And when they came out and started 0-3 this year, we didn't know what was going on. But through 5 weeks of the Northern 10 season, Carey football is back.
Klaus looks, throws deep ball, has a man right off his fingertips. Good ball there by Klaus. He was trying to hit his intended target, Levi Teal. Teal had a step or two, just couldn't haul it in. But another good ball there by Klaus, almost big play by the Warriors.
Yeah, it was a big play. It's great coverage there by Lucas Smith-Hayward. Maybe a little bit too much towards the out-of-bounds line, kind of led Teal that way instead of over the shoulder. But it's a great throw from Klaus. And now 3rd and 12 for Mohawk.
He almost dropped it in the bucket 40 yards down the field. Klaus fakes the handoff, rolls right, steps, throws, good ball, man wide open, Teal. He's got it, 20, 10, pay dirt. And just like that, Mohawk answers. A 64-yard pass to Teal, and Mohawk with the big play answer.
Well, and that's what we seen last week with the Eagles as well. When they went deep, they had the guys open. Carey doesn't play very much safety help over the top there. Teal snuck behind the safety. Klaus put it in the bucket, and it's a great throw and catch, and it's the exact answer that we just talked about that the Mohawk Warriors needed.
Mohawk on the board. They have not gotten a first down yet. 3 possessions, no first down. But just like that, it doesn't matter. The only thing that counts is the scoreboard, and we are tied at 7 in this battle for Northern 10 supremacy. You're watching Friday Night Football on the OH Report.
They spend 3 different semesters in an agency learning real-world stuff. Then they come back to our seminar and we discuss the academic piece of that, and we support them through their journey.
When I started my practicum, I started working with young kids. When I got into that one-on-one counseling with a kid, I just began to kind of have a light bulb moment where everything fell into place and I could direct the conversation, I could ask questions, and I just knew that this is what my education was for.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress. No hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
Welcome back to Carey High School. Mark Bollinger along with Josh Banks. Carey goes up 7-0 on a 3-yard touchdown run by Bame. Mohawk with the big play answer. 64-yard pass over the top to Teal from Klaus, and we are tied. Carey takes the kickoff. Summit returns the ball out to the 27, and the ball is out. The ball came out at the end, and Mohawk thinks they have it.
They're going to say he was down.
Talk it over, and they're going to say the ball stays with Carey, that he was down before the fumble. A little bit of a break there for the Blue Devils. Mohawk sideline was elated, thinking they had scored and then created the turnover on the kickoff return.
And that would have been a big turnover, too, as Klaus threw the pick earlier in the game. If they could have forced a turnover there and then went down and punched in and went up 7, it would have been a huge momentum shift in this contest.
Well, that first turnover by Klaus really wasn't his fault. It was a tip ball. I mean, he put the ball on the money. Just deflection ended up being the turnover. But now Carey needs to do some work on the offensive side. Toss to Puckett. Right side has space. Gets to the second level. Breaks one tackle and finally ridden out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Gain of 14 by Puckett. Dash with another Carey first down.
Hawk Hardware first down here for Dash, and it's, you know, we talk about Carey and their ability to run the ball. If teams can't stop it, don't change it.
Well, I think you may have a situation here where Mohawks realized that running game against that Carey defense is going to be tough to do. We may just need to go to the air all night tonight. May see a contradiction on both sides. Carey running game versus a Mohawk throwing game. Right side quickly brought down there by the Warriors by Caden Bish.
Caden Bish, and there was also Owen Patrizzi in there on the stop.
Puckett on the carry for the gain of 2. We get under 10 seconds here, and that looks to be the final play of the first quarter here from Carey High School. In a battle for first place in the Northern 10, Carey and Mohawk are tied at 7. We'll be right back. You're watching Friday Night Football Northern 10 style, live and free on the OH Report. Well, second quarter action underway here. First play of the second quarter after a quick break between the quarters. Phoenix keeps it on the quarterback keeper, gets a first down. So Trip Phoenix totes it for about 12. And the Blue Devils are inside Mohawk territory. First and 10, ball resting on the Warriors' 46-yard line. Blue Devils back in that power I. Handoff. Puckett. Mace on the right side. Plunges ahead for 4.
Brett Kieran on the stop. Katie Whitney watching. Let's go Devils. Chris Stansberry. Good luck, Devils.
Carey running game in full effect in that first quarter. 53 yards on the ground. Just 7 through the air, but that running attack was getting it done as Steen motions left. Handoff, 2 hands on the football, and plunging ahead for another first down. That was Dash Puckett. Move the sticks.
Hey, when you need a Hawk Hardware first down, you give it to number 40, Mark.
Well, Dash is able to get it done. Mace takes it on first down, Dash on second down, and you don't even need third down because the chains are moving. But not only that, just those 2 guys and how hard they run, but big drive here for the Blue Devils just after the big play by Mohawk. They had some momentum. This drive is kind of taking the air out of the football.
Yep.
Phoenix in the pistol, handoff. Nice play and brought down near that line of scrimmage. It was Patrizzi, Owen Patrizzi, 5'9" senior, gets in there.
Huge stop there by Owen Patrizzi as well to not allow Puckett to get an edge.
Yeah, Puckett was able to break out of the tackle, the leg tackle a little bit and get a gain of 2.
Carter Bain will run out onto the field with the play for Trip Phoenix.
2nd and 8.
You go back into that wing back look.
Yep, Mace will be the lone setback in the wing look. Dash motioned. Power set to the boundary side. Right up the middle. Nice hole, nice gain. Kieran in on the tackle. Klaus in on the tackle. Heminger also in on the tackle.
Lozier also in on the tackle. Lots of Warriors bring down Puckett, but that's something we seen last week as well, Mark. It takes a lot of defenders to bring down the Puckets. 3rd and about 4.
Yep, big third down here.
Power eye.
Go right back to it. Handoff, last man through was Mace Puckett, and he is going to be brought down. Making the stop there was Eli Chevalier along with Klaus. Big play by Chevalier. The 6'5", 275-pound senior gets the tackle.
Big boy right there.
And that was a big play by the big fella. Gain of just 1, 4th and 2. If you're just joining us, the Blue Devils may look a little bit different tonight, wearing the throwback blue jerseys, a little brighter than the Navy you're traditionally used to seeing, honoring that 1975 state championship team tonight. Handoff, Puckett, right side, that's going to be enough for a first down. Give it to Dash Puckett and move the chains.
Hawk Hardware first down here on 4th down, and that's a big conversion there for the Blue Devils. That was an opportunity for Mohawk to get a stop and get the ball back before half. If Carey has anything to say about this, they're going to run about 4 more minutes off of this clock before they punch one in the end zone. They want Mohawk to have as little time left as possible because Carey gets the ball in the second half.
Clock hits 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Blue Devils on the march. Steen in motion, sets on the left side. Toss, Puckett, cut back. No room. Not a lot of space there for Dash.
Heminger makes the tackle there on Dash, and that's a big stop. Again, a short gain. But these short gains on first down does not affect the Blue Devils because they get 4 or 5 yards on second down, and then you're in 3rd and 3. You get to 4th and 1 or 2, and that's right up their alley. That's what they want.
Yeah, they get into 3rd and short. It's basically 2 down territory, and you've got to make 2 good plays in a row or they're going to get the first down.
Absolutely.
You have to be fundamental and tackle well because these Blue Devils will break tackles. Pitch to Puckett. Good job again by Mohawk of keeping the edge, not allowing Dash Puckett to get outside.
Caden Bish in there on the stop along with Klaus. Again,
now this is where it gets a little bit different here. 2 nice plays on 1st and 2nd down by the Warriors. Now instead of 3rd and short, now you're looking at 3rd and 6. playbook changes a little bit at 3rd and 6.
I still expect to see power I and give it to Dash Puckett.
Or Phoenix on the fake and the keep. And there it is. Phoenix fakes the handoff, trying to get to the edge. It's a foot race, and he is going to be brought down. It's going to be close, and they're going to say he got the first down. We saw it last week. We see it again tonight.
Yeah, that was their go-to 3rd and 4th down play last week, was the fake inside handoff and the pass, or the rollout and pass or run by Phoenix. That was their go-to all night long.
And give credit to Trip Phoenix. Mohawk had 3 or 4 guys out there ready to make the play. Phoenix just outran them to the sideline, enough for the first down. Quick handoff goes to Carter Bame. Right side, and the methodical march by the Blue Devils continues.
Like I said, if Mohawk's going to get this ball back, they want it to be inside of 4 minutes. But the thing about it is we've seen how quick the Warriors can strike, because it only took 1 play last time over the top to Teal.
Well, if you look at this, Mohawk scored with 1:13 to go in the first quarter. We are under 5.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mohawk has not touched the ball on the offensive side.
No, sir.
Carey has had the ball the entire quarter, and they continue the drive. Handoff again, Bame. Met with a lot of resistance. He'll get to about the 9. So they give him 1.
Chevalier again makes the big play on defense. And now you're 3rd and 6 again. Do we see the fake keeper to the wide side of the field?
Well, when they have ran that play, it has usually been the fake handoff and the quarterback keep definitely to the wide side, to the field side. They have not ran it to the boundary.
But I will say this, I feel like they've run it left every time. I have not seen that play go to the right side.
A little bit different look here on 3rd and 6. Handoff, Puckett, left side, upended right there by Kieran. Brant Kieran, 5'9" senior, with the nice tackle.
And now you're 4th and, say, 2 or 3.
So we're in the second quarter, a little over 4 minutes to go, and this might be one of the most important plays of this ball game. 4th and 2, ball on the Mohawk 5-yard line. Can the Warrior defense get a stop? They only give up 10 points per game. Carey has 7 on the board right now. Power I. Blue Devils.
Carter Bame up the middle.
No.
Trip
Keeper.
Phoenix.
And I don't know if he's going to get that.
It looks like the spot's going to mark him short.
I think he's going to be short by a yard. They went quarterback keeper. They needed 2.
It looks like he only got about 1. It's all going to depend on the spot of the football. I think they needed to get to about the 3.5.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
it's going to be Mohawk football.
Warrior defense. And there's the official signal. Big stop by the Warrior defense. They were on the field for over 9.5 minutes, and they get a stop at the 5-yard line.
But here's the thing now. If you're Carey, you're okay with that. Yes, you wanted points. They've got 3.5 minutes to go 94 or 96 yards.
Yeah, but if I'm Carey, I'm disappointed because I wanted to come away with points.
I did not expect a QB keeper there. I expected it to go to Carter Bame or Dash Puckett or even Mace Puckett.
The play differential is absolutely astounding. Unofficially, I have Mohawk for running 7 offensive plays tonight. Mohawk's going to take time out. Mohawk 7 offensive plays. Carey 28. Plays from scrimmage.
21 differential.
Yeah. But again, the most important thing is the scoreboard, and right now it is sitting at 7-7. So week 9 here in the high school football season, we're closing in on playoff time. We're closing in on crowning some league champions, and these two teams both have hopes for getting themselves outright, if you're Carey, or a share, potentially, if you're Mohawk, of the Northern 10 title. Carey 5-0 in the league in first place. Colonel Crawford and Mohawk just a game behind with 1 league loss. Last we saw, Colonel Crawford was up on Upper Sandusky.
Currently 25-7.
Okay, it was 12-7 last we had heard. Crawford with a couple quick scores to bounce that lead out to 25-7. Klaus hands off Bish, breaks a tackle. He has space. Uh-oh, this could be a foot race. Here goes Bish, 40, 50, and he stays in bounds and is finally brought out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And that is how you get off of your own 3-yard line. Caden Bish breaks the first tackle and takes it to the Blue Devil 40. First down of the night for Mohawk, and it was a big one.
How about MLAC score update for you? Ready for this one, Mr. Bollinger? How about Marion Harding 20, Galleon Tigers 7?
I'm floored. It's not what people were expecting. Galleon trying to hang right in there with only 1 loss on the season. Klaus, keeper, hit, fights his way for 3.
Carter Bayman on the stop.
Caden Bish had 8 yards on his first 2 carries, and then he busts out a 65-yard run to get them off the shadow of their goal line, and the Warriors are in business here in the last 3 minutes.
Big run by the big-time offensive threat for the Warriors.
2nd and 7, Mohawk. Handoff, Bish, left side, breaks 2 tackles, fights his way for a first down. Another impressive run by Bish, breaking tackles and getting good yards.
Yeah, and it's just a great job by Bish on the Hawk Hardware first down for Mohawk of keeping his feet moving. And he's so quick with the ball, Mark. He finds a hole and hits it, and there's not a Blue Devil in the area until he gets to that second level. As we're at 2:28 left here in the first half. A very quick first half.
Clock continues to roll. Carey jumped out to the early 7-0 lead. Mohawk with the response. Klaus, quarterback keep. On the draw, he has space. 20, 10, untouched. Andon Klaus goes 29 yards untouched for the touchdown, and Mohawk has the lead.
Great blocking by the Mohawk offensive front on the Klaus touchdown. And Mohawk has answered twice now to the 1 carry touchdown.
95-yard drive.
In a minute.
In a little over a minute. Extra point attempt by the Warriors. Kick is up, and it is good. And just like that, Mohawk reels off 14 straight to take a 14-7 lead. We'll be right back. You're watching Friday Night Football on the OH Report. In a battle for the Northern 10 Conference Championship, Mohawk has responded and scored 14 straight points to take a 14-7 lead over the homestanding Carey Blue Devils. Mark Bollinger along with Josh Banks as we wrap up the first half here, just over 2 minutes to go. Mohawk with the great response. They get a stop inside their own 5 on 4th down, take over the football, 2 big plays, Caden Bish for 65 yards, and then Andon Klaus with the 29-yarder for the touchdown, and Mohawk has taken the lead over a somewhat stunned Carey football squad. Kickoff return goes to the 30-yard line. So
Patrizi making a big tackle on special teams there, and I think you and I both thought, Carey came out, they took that drive after the interception, they kind of easily went down and scored. Mohawk's defense is not laid down, and their offense is coming alive.
Well, last week we saw the big play capability by this Carey offense. Couple big runs by Dash Puckett, gouged the Colonel Crawford defense for touchdowns, each over 60 yards. They don't have time here in the first half to ground and pound this football. They've got to try to make a big play. An error on the exchange in the backfield. Phoenix couldn't connect with his running back. Tried to keep the ball wide, or tried to keep the ball, get it wide, and it's going to be a loss of 10 on the play.
Yeah, Brent Kieran stayed home, red run all the way, or I'm sorry, that was number 5. That was Levi Teal making the big play in the backfield. And now if you're Mohawk, you've got 2 timeouts left. Do you try to get the football back again?
If I'm Mohawk, I'm thinking yes. If I'm Carey, I just want to get to the locker room. You had the 7-0 lead. Everything was going in your favor, and then boom, boom, 2 or 3 big plays, and Mohawk has taken the lead. Carey's going to let the play clock run down before they take their timeout. 1:15 to go here. Blue Devils facing a 2nd and 20. And with that quick strike Mohawk offense, yeah, if they get a stop here on 2nd down, I look for them to call the timeout. While we have a quick second, you have any scores for me?
Look and see what I got for you. We've got, we'll go Northern 10 football since that's where we're at. Colonel Crawford 32-7 now over Upper Sandusky. Seneca East 27-0 over Bucyrus. And I will tell you what, the score I'm about to tell you, it may not surprise some folks that know N10 football, but on the current season, Winford 33, Buckeye Central, who's battling for a playoff spot, 0.
Royals have been getting better and better as the year went on.
Oh, and Shelby just doing Shelby things. It's 42-7.
Over Pleasant. Whippet's looking to go 10-0 on the season. Win tonight would get them to 9-0. Handoff left side. The hole was there, and it closed quickly.
And there's the
Patrizi
timeout.
again on the tackle. A gain of 5 by Mace Puckett. Quick timeout by the Warriors. Brings up 3rd and 15. Still over a minute to go here in the ball game.
And Mohawk can strike quick. We've already seen that twice tonight. They go 95 yards in about a minute 30, and then they had the 65-yard touchdown. So they only need about a minute, maybe even a little less, to get it across the goal line. But the thing about it is, Mark, if they get this football back, it's going to be with 0 timeouts.
Yeah, if you're Carey on the offensive side of things, coaching staff, having the conversation on what they want to do. Do you want to run the football, as Mohawk is probably expecting, force the Warriors to call that last timeout, or do you try to put the ball in the air, get a first down, and that way you're able to possibly run out the clock here in the first half? Ball resting just outside the 25-yard line as the Blue Devils take the field, looking at a 3rd and a long 14. Mohawk defense gave up an early touchdown. Got a stop inside the 5. Now trying to force the Blue Devils to punt the football away. Devils keep it on the ground. Left side handoff. Gain of 5, but it's going to be 10 yards short. That went to Mace Puckett, and the Warriors used their last time out, forced the Blue Devils to punt the football away.
And it's one of those things where you'd almost like to have an opportunity. If you're a 4th and 5 here in your carry, you probably go for it. But because you're 4th and 10, you have to punt it away and unfortunately give Mohawk this football back when their offense is rolling.
I wouldn't go for it on 4th and 5 in this field position. You're more of the gambler if you were a coach. I would not. I would have punted away, and if it was 4th and 5, 4th and 10, wouldn't matter to me. Minute and 2 to go here. I'm going to make you drive the field. I'm not going to give you a chance for a short field. But doesn't matter what we would do. Blue Devils taking the field with the punting unit. 4th and 10, ball in their own 30. Warriors going to look for a good return here and see if they can add some points to the scoreboard here late in the first half.
As it'll be Teal,
Benson Klopfer back to punt for the Blue Devils.
Teal and Kieran back to return for Mohawk. Tipped!
Partially blocked. And it is going to be downed inside the 40-yard line. So it looked like the Warriors were able to come off the edge untouched almost.
Bish came off the edge untouched, got a hand on it, and now if you're Mohawk, you're in prime position to put more points on the board before half.
The ball comes to rest down at the 39 of the Blue Devils. Can the Blue Devil defense get a stop? Mohawk has only had the ball for a little over a minute in this quarter, but they scored on that one drive, their second chance of the quarter. 52 seconds to go. Klaus, swing pass, missed his target. Incomplete, but the clock will stop on the incompletion.
Yeah, looking for Bish on a little swing. And I tell you what, if that pass is completed, he had Patrizzi out there blocking, and he had a hole on that left side.
This is where big plays just completely flip the picture of statistical matchups or things like that. Because if you looked at the numbers, you'd say, oh, Andon Klaus, wow, he's only 1 of 5. But that one was a big one.
Yeah, that one was a big touchdown. You look at Caden Bish. He's got not very many yards, but 165-yarder.
Over the top again, wide open. Teal, 10, 5, touchdown. And just like that, Andon Klaus has 2 completions, 2 touchdowns. From 39 yards out, Klaus and Teal connect again.
And how about this Mohawk offense, Mark? They've ran less than maybe 15 offensive plays, and they've got 21 points on the board.
They had the football for under 2 minutes here in the second quarter. And they have, in less than 2 minutes of possession, 135 yards of offense in 2 minutes.
I think the 95-yard drive there with that 3-minute mark to go, when Caden Bish had the 65-yard run and then Klaus took it in, I want to say it was from 30. That drive was massive for them. That drive kind of showed them, hey, we're okay. We can move the football in spurts against this Carey defense. But it's been the big play.
Well, we were looking at these two teams, and the body language seemingly tells the picture so many times in high school sports. Carey ahead, Mohawk just, it didn't look like, they had any of that momentum. All of a sudden, they tie it up. And then Carey looks like they're just taking the wind out of Mohawk sails, where they just keep the football for almost the entire second quarter, methodically driving it down the field. And then Mohawk gets the stop, the turnover on downs on the 3-yard line, and then bam, bam, Mohawk. Big play, 95 yards in a couple of plays, touchdown. Then they get the partially blocked punt, and then boom, strike again. That quick strike, big play Mohawk offense has been the difference, but it came after that big stop by the Mohawk defense.
Hey, that's why they average 41 points per contest, Mark.
Well, Teal has done a great job of getting behind the Carey.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
For over 100 yards.
And that kick is going to go out of bounds, so there'll be a penalty on the kickoff. but a stunned crowd and a stunned sideline here at Carey High School. Mohawk has scored 21 straight points to take a 21-7 lead over the Blue Devils.
Well, and I think here's the big picture. If you're the Blue Devils and Coach Merschman, you don't have a high-power offense. You don't have – we've seen 2 big 60-yard runs last week. You haven't had that yet tonight. You haven't thrown the ball deep yet. But you got to score quick.
But if you're Carey, you do what Carey does. That's the thing. You are who you are. Don't count out this tough and resilient Carey squad. With the penalty, Blue Devils take over on the 35-yard line. 42 seconds to work with. They will get the ball to start the second half. See if they try to get some offense. Phoenix tries to go over the top. Has a man. Caught. Big play inside the Mohawk 30. The catch there by Boston Ritter.
Ritter had the big interception. Phoenix going to find him deep. They're going to spike it. As that was about a 33-yard completion.
Yeah, where they spotted, they're going to say it was a 40-yard completion to Boston Ritter. Ritter's first catch of the night gets the first down. Then the spike stops the clock. But a big play there by Trip Phoenix. Stood in the pocket, went over the top.
Slung that thing, man. That's the first time we've seen him let one loose the 2 weeks we've been here.
32 seconds to go here in the half. Blue Devils trying to get some points here late. Phoenix throws wide, caught, breaking a tackle, pushed out of bounds. Great job again by Phoenix, hit Kyler Bowes.
And here's the thing, if you're Mohawk and Caden Bish there, you don't want to push him out of bounds.
They're going to mark him right at the first down marker, and the official says move it.
Houck Hardware first down, and that's a big one because that allows the clock to stop even if you don't get out of bounds for the chains to move.
10 first downs in the half. Phoenix is like, we don't need to ground and pound, coach. Let me throw it a little bit. Now he's going to run it. Tries to cut it back. Fakes. 10 inside the 10. Phoenix looked like he was going to cut it back. Juked out the defender. He almost juked himself out. But a nice gain there by Phoenix. A gain of 8. Makes it 2nd and 2 on the 7.
And they've done a great job of not only getting a big play on these 4 consecutive big plays, but they've gotten out of balance as well, Mark.
Yes.
They've stopped the clock to give themselves a chance to run another play and not have to hurry up.
They didn't have to use the 1 remaining timeout they do have. Now they go power look. Phoenix handoff, Puckett right side. Brought down short of the goal line was Mace Puckett. And Carey burns the timeout. A gain of 4
13 seconds
by Mace Puckett.
You almost, with no timeouts left, you can't, maybe I'm wrong here, Mark. You cannot run the football unless you can get it in.
Well, you're 1st and goal on the 3. 13 seconds to go. I would think that you're going to see some RPO stuff where you're going to roll Phoenix out. He's got the run-pass option. If he's got room to get it in, take off with it, try to get to the end zone. If not, he's going to have to throw it, even if he throws it away, because as you said, with no timeouts left, if you get tackled on a run wide, you're not going to be able to get back and lined up in time to spike the football. But if you're Carey, you've also had great success running the football most of the night tonight. Can you punch it in from here? If you're Mohawk, you have to be confident. You've stopped them on the 3-yard line before.
Last drive last time. You can do it again.
Can the Warrior defense do it again? They only give up 10 points per game. Trying to make a stand here as Carey tries to get points and regain momentum going into the locker room. Power eye look. Phoenix under center. fakes the toss, rolls, throws, led his receiver a little too much. He missed his target, but in the back of the end zone, Kyler Bowes had released from his tight end position.
Nobody was near him.
And was sitting back there wide open. Phoenix was looking at his first read. Had a guy, just wasn't able to deliver it, but only 3 seconds off
I was going to say, that's
off
kind
the
of
clock. Yep. I mean, at that rate, you've got 3 more plays here. Same look from the Blue Devils. This time they roll. It looks like a run all the way. Mohawk is there, and they're going to bring him down.
They're going to say inbounds.
Inbounds, and that's going to end the half. So for the second straight drive, Carey is going to come up short. The drive stops on, this time, the 3-yard line. Last time it was the 3.5. And just like that, the Mohawk defense comes up with 2 big stops, and we are going to take it to halftime. The halftime score here at Carey High School, Mohawk 21, Carey 7. We will be back with the halftime show by these 2 bands and also halftime stats and analysis. You're watching a battle for the Northern 10 title, live and free on the OH Report.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress, no hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
2008 by Rihanna. Here is Disturbia.
Okay. Courtney, you got a double header. You're not going to be home till like 5, 6, or 7 o'clock tomorrow. Yes, no.
Ladies and gentlemen, led to the podium by drum majors Riley Miller and Audrey Meyer. We proudly present the 2025 Pride of Carey, the Carey High School Blue Devil Marching Band. Tonight, we feature the music from several modern pop divas. Our first selection is one of Rihanna's biggest hits of 2008. This upbeat electro-pop hit was #1 for 2 consecutive weeks and has been certified platinum 7 times. We open it with Disturbia. reached as high as number 2 on the top 100 pop charts in 2012. American singer-songwriter Kesha released this song on her second studio album, Warrior. This catchy pop anthem has been streamed on Spotify over 900 million times and has been certified platinum 6. Here is Die Young. Swift's 7th studio album, Lover. This catchy bubblegum pop song was certified platinum twice and has won numerous awards and accolades for its music video and popularity on streaming services. Sing along as a part of Carey plays Me.
I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress, no hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
It is halftime here at Carey High School, where the Blue Devils jumped out to a 7-0 lead, but Mohawk responded. 21 straight points by the Warriors takes us to the halftime score of Mohawk 21, Carey 7. And Josh, before we talk about anything else, including the stats, I think the first thing we have to talk about is just missed opportunities by Carey in that second quarter, and then Mohawk taking advantage.
Yeah, we just talked about it before we came back on the air. You know, Mohawk scored with about 1:15, I think you said, left in quarter number one. Carey gets the ball back, and they eat almost 11 minutes off of a clock between the first and second quarter. They're unable to get any points out of it, and Mohawk comes back to take the lead on a 96-yard touchdown drive, capped off by a 29-yard Andon Klaus touchdown run. And that was the momentum shift that was needed for Mohawk.
Well, it has been a story of big plays. As we said, Carey opened the scoring with a 3-yard touchdown run by Carter Bain, following a tip pass that was intercepted by Carey. They took over at the 43-yard line, marched it down. Bain finishes it off 7-0. Things were looking great for Carey. Mohawk finally responds. 64-yard touchdown pass over the top from Klaus to Thiel with 1:13 to go in the first quarter. We were tied at 7. That's when Carey went on that big drive.
Yep.
Took it all the way down inside the 5. Mohawk gets the stop. They immediately respond. A big 65-yard run by Caden Bish sets it up, and then Klaus from 29 yards out takes the lead 14-7 with 2:07 to go. Mohawk, great job by the coaching staff in the defense. They get stops. They use their timeouts. Force Carey to punt.
Block the punt.
Partially blocked. Bish comes off the edge, gets a piece of it. The Warriors take over on the 39-yard line, and just like that, in less than about 30 seconds, over the top, Klaus again to Thiel, 39 yards out, touchdown, and it's 21-7 at the half. Let's look at those halftime stats.
I mean, the stats are deceiving, Mark. Carey's got 10 first downs to Mohawk's 2. But Mohawk's got 207. And you talk about balance. 103 yards passing, 104 yards rushing, 1 turnover. But how about the clean football game we've seen as both teams only commit 1 penalty. Carey's got the edge on the ground. Carey's got the edge in first downs. Carey's even forced the only turnover of the ball game. And yet they're still down by 2 scores.
what's most amazing to me is just the plays from scrimmage. Unofficially, Carey has ran 37 offensive plays to just 12 for Mohawk. But those 12 plays have been big. In that, they have 4 plays, 29 yards or more. They have 29-yard run by Klaus for a touchdown, Bish's 65-yard scamper, 64-yarder over the top for the touchdown to Teal, and then the 39-yarder as well. So big play Mohawk offense has struck and struck quick. Because of that, the Warriors are 1/2 away from joining the Carey Blue Devils and the Colonel Crawford Eagles at the top of the Northern 10 in first place with 1 league loss. But we still have a half of football to go. Special thanks to Sycamore Telephone Company for our pregame show and our halftime show. We appreciate all their help in allowing us to bring you this halftime of highlights and statistics and everything else as we get ready to roll here in quarter number 3.
While we get ready to kick off, I want to go ahead and shout out all of our sponsors allowing us to bring you this live and free action. Sycamore Telephone Company, Danner's Towing and Recovery, Regina Vent Realty, Klaus Construction, Houck Hardware, American Homestead Exteriors, and North Central State College, all allowing us to bring you this N10 action live and free.
Well, on a night that they are celebrating the 50th anniversary of the 1975 Carey Championship team, wearing the throwback jerseys, honoring the team in the pregame, all kinds of celebrations here tonight for Carey. They need a little bit of that Carey magic.
They do.
Here in the second half, trailing 21-7. Can the Blue Devils come out of the locker room with an answer? They are going to take the ball at the 10. Left sideline, and it's going to be run out of bounds there. It was Summit on the return, and the Blue Devils will start the first possession of the second half on the 36-yard line.
One thing I'll be interesting to see is I know Carey doesn't want to throw the ball, Mark. You and I both know that. But they did move it down the field pretty successfully there at the end of the first half through the air with Trip Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't think it's a fact that Tripp can't throw it. It's just they've been so good at running the football season long. You stay with your best strength. Fake to Bame, left side. There's a hole. And immediately Puckett rips off a gain of 9 on first down. Dash with a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1.
Brought down by Kiernan.
Nice start there for the Blue Devils.
Wendy Reidlinger out there saying, let's go Blue Devils. And Jane Browsey, I see you cheering on the Warriors as a Colonel Crawford fan.
Handoff, left side, there's space. Again, another nice run as Puckett just runs through tacklers.
A big block there from Dash on the edge, too, as you've seen on the Regina Vent Realty replay. Dash Puckett with a huge block on the edge to kind of open up that hole for Mace.
Well, you mentioned the Colonel Crawford. I am guessing at halftime that this score was announced and the Colonel Crawford fans had a little bit of celebration. Second or third man through, again, is Puckett. That time it was Mace. And just like that, 3 plays, and the Devils are moving the ball.
For all you Devil and Warrior fans out there, Colonel Crawford leading upper 46-10 at the half. So this game literally will decide if it's a 3-way tie or Carey gets the title outright.
As of week 9. I mean, that's presuming all games, kind of hold next week as we think they might. But it's high school football, you never know. And big play here by Mace Puckett. Looked like he was stopped. He continued to fight forward, and he rolls onward and down to the 16-yard line. Gain of 18 for Mace.
How Cardware first down for the Blue Devils, and they're moving the ball, but they've struggled inside the red zone here tonight.
Yes, 2 times the Mohawk defense stiffened inside the 5 and was able to get a turnover or into the half.
They're going to motion somebody left. Nope, no motion. Just give it to Mace right away.
Again, that left side.
Kind of a new look there. Normally when they go that strong formation with a tight end, they motion that tight end over to the opposite side where they're going to hand it off. Went a little bit different there, and you got to change things up after the first half. Kind of Mohawk shut them down offensively, especially in this part of the field.
Mohawk, again, has to be very wary to keep containment, keep that outside edge. Phoenix has shown he will fake it and roll to that side of the field. Handoff, right side, another nice gain for the Blue Devils. That was Dash Puckett. They're going to say his knee was down. It looks like he'll be just short of the first down. And nope, they're going to say he got it.
A Hal Cardware first down for the Blue Devils, and it's now 1st and goal for Carey.
So in 6 plays, the Blue Devils have moved it from their own 36 down to the 5-yard line.
Very similar to their first drive of the evening.
3 times we've seen Carey at the 5-yard line of the Warriors. And the same end of the field. Handoff outside. Dives forward. Touchdown. Mace Puckett from 5 yards out, and Carey comes out strong with the answer.
The faked my cameraman out. He thought Carter Bame had the ball up the middle, and I did too to start. And I think either one of them punches it in there, Mark. But that's a big scoring drive for the Blue Devils.
So the Blue Devils come out and in less than 4 minutes march down the field to close the gap to 21-14. Great answer coming out of the locker room.
Huge answer. We talked about that before we came back on the air. Carey needed to put points on the board with that drive because they're not made to come back from down 3 scores. Here's the thing now, though. Carey needs a stop. You're down 7. You cannot go score per score with Mohawk if you're going to have an opportunity to come back and win this football game.
The Carey scoring drive, 7 plays, 64 yards, took 3 minutes and 23 seconds off the clock. So with 8:37 to go, 7-point ball game here at Wentling Field at Carey High School.
And how about this, Mark? You know, we talk about time of possession, right? That might be the fastest drive we've seen Carey have all year, and it was still almost 4 minutes long.
It was effective. 7 straight runs, ends with points on the board. Now, can that Carey defense get a stop against this potent Mohawk offense? Kickoff, fielded at the 20. Kieran runs into a crowd of people. Tried to return up the middle. Stopped and brought down at the 30. Mohawk football. Andon Klaus, first half. Only 2 completions.
2 touchdowns, though.
But they were both for touchdowns.
2 completions for 103 yards and 2 scores. Talk about efficiency.
Well, Klaus came into the game tonight completing almost 67% of his passes with a 14-to-1 touchdown ratio. He had 1 interception on the tip ball early, but since then he has dropped some dimes. Fakes the handoff, keeps it, and he's going to be brought down for a loss.
Guess who? Dash Puckett. Along with Kyler Bowes.
Mohawks behind the chains after first down. Loss of 1 by Klaus on the play. Again, we talked about the balance One big run from Bish for 65 yards. That passing game has been potent. Quick throw, caught, 35, makes a move, and the second defender comes in and wraps it up. Boston Ritter finished him off.
It was a great job by Summit, who made the initial contact, and then Ritter, like you said, came in and cleaned it up.
Well, I think the other thing about that is on the play, Trip Phoenix, trying to make the tackle, took a shot on his right elbow, trying to shake it off a little bit.
Phoenix with a job of guarding Teal, who's been that deep threat all night long. They're still manned up on the outside.
Klaus throws off his back foot, caught. First down for the Warriors.
How about the throw from Andon Klaus? Pressure in his face, back foot over the middle, and a great catch to Teal.
That was impressive throw and catch. Off his back foot, put it up there, crossing route. Teal went up and brought it in.
For a Houck Hardware first down for the Mohawk Warriors.
Klaus gets him to jump on the hard count. The hard
Are they going to
clap.
get a jump or a false start? They're going to get a false
start. Call it a
start.
false start. I saw the left side of the Carey defense.
I did too.
Jump. I thought that they'd got him, but instead the hard count forced the illegal motion procedure.
One of the most frustrating things, too, as a coach on the other side, your team knows the hard count's coming and you can't stay still.
1st and 15. Ball on the 39. Klaus in the shotgun. Bish to his left. Klaus, quarterback draw. Has space to the left. 40, 45, cuts 50. Enough for the first down. 16-yard run by Andon Klaus on the quarterback draw.
Big block by Caden Bish on the edge and the extra effort from Klaus to get the first down. And Andon Klaus has shown you why he's one of the best dual threats in the Northern 10.
Houck Hardware first down, but as you said, give credit to Bish. He's over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, but the willing blocker, unselfish teammate, made a big block to spring Klaus for the first down. In Carey territory, Warriors first drive of the second half. Bish outside, back to the line of scrimmage, and more. Ends up with a gain of 5.
Big hit from Dash Puckett, but Bish making a couple guys miss, cuts it back inside, and he's going to get about 4.
We've seen that on his runs tonight. Bish is really elusive. If you try to tackle him around his legs, he's going to get out of that leg tackle. You got to get in there and wrap him up with 2, or he's going to break tackles and make plays.
Yeah, Caden Bish listed at 5'11", 195. Very, very quick on his feet, very light on his feet as well.
Averages 117 yards per game on the season, 17 touchdowns for Bish. Quarterback follows. So basically it was a power run by the quarterback with Bish as the lead blocker. Gain of 3 will bring up 3rd and 2.
They motion away from the run. They pull a defender with Carey just playing straight up man on the outside. They pull that defender from the middle of the defense out to guard Brant Kiernan and allows Klaus to get the yardage.
And that's what Mohawk took advantage of in the first half on those 2 big plays. They were able to get man coverage. Teal was able to make a move, get separation behind the defense, and it paid off.
Klaus will get the play call.
Klaus, again, follows the blocker, runs into Bish, keeps going, and he's going to come out of this. Almost broke away, but they're going to throw a flag in there. The flag comes in late, about 5 yards behind the play. And they're going to call sideline warning
on Mohawk.
I'm not sure on that one because the flag was thrown by the official on the Carey sideline.
Yeah. That's definitely not his call.
He threw it in the area of where the play was at. I thought, and
maybe
again, I was
hold.
trying to see, but the signal I thought was a sideline warning.
Yeah, I'm curious about that one as well, Mark. You had a sideline warning called from this far official down here right in front of us against the Mohawk sideline. I'm not too sure about that one, Mr. Bollinger.
Unless the signal that they gave was wrong. And the Mohawk sideline is wanting an explanation.
Yeah, Coach Daniel out on the field wanting to know what's going on, and I don't blame him. If you're going to call a sideline warning on my sideline from the other side of the field, I'm going to want an explanation as well.
And the flag came in really, really late and behind the play. And they're going to have a conference here. 5 of them are going to get together, try to sort this out. It looked like Klaus had the first down with the nice run.
The officials are coming together. They're going to try to get it sorted out. And, again, I'll run the replay again for us. I don't see a hold anywhere.
They were pushing the pile.
The only thing I could think of would it be, it looks like number 16 for Mohawk, number 15 for Mohawk, which is Holden Parker. It looks like he gave Klaus an extra push. I could understand maybe a penalty there, but I don't know how you call a sideline warning.
And again, maybe it was the wrong signal, or we're trying to see this from up here. Maybe it was something different. But no matter what happens here with the explanation, the reality is the penalty is going to be enforced for 5 yards against the Warriors. That's going to take the first down away from Mohawk.
It's going to make it 3rd and
inches, but Coach Daniel is not done contemplating and talking about this situation.
And I don't blame him. I don't think he's been thrilled with the explanation that he's gotten yet from the officials for what the flag actually is.
And we've had about a 3 or 4 minute stoppage here, and they're going to come together again.
Yeah, they're going to talk about moving the ball back. Yeah, they're going to move the ball back about 3 more yards.
So the ball is going, well, for now.
Yeah, they're going to move it to the 40.
No, they're going to. I don't know where the ball is going to be placed.
The 38-yard line.
No, the 42.
Yeah.
The 42-yard line when the play ended on the 30, and they moved the ball to the 42.
That's a 12-yard penalty for a sideline warning.
It had to be something different. Well, no matter what, after this brief stoppage in play.
Coach Daniel not done yet.
Okay, you're right. And Coach Daniel is still trying to get an explanation. The flag was thrown at the 35. So if it's enforced from the spot of the foul,
then this makes sense.
Well, it'd be a 7-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to me, but no matter what, it's 3rd and 8 is where we're at. 3rd and 8, Carey 42. Blue Devils bring the blitz. High throw, caught, and immediately brought down. Looks like it's going to be just shy of the marker. Both officials coming in to spot the football. One has him spotted at the 35, the other about the 36.
Either way it goes, I expect Mohawk to go for this on 4th down.
The ball went to Patrizi.
Great throw and catch, by the way. Klaus to Patrizi.
Yeah, I think you're going to – and, again, this is one thing that drives me nuts with colleges. We talked about it. 4th and a half a yard. Oh, there's a flinch, and they got it. Stop the play.
But here's my question. Did Carter Bame force that flinch?
And yes, the other official's going to come in and say Carter Bame forced it.
Yes. Absolutely. That's the correct call. I don't have it on replay, but Carter Bame faked like he was going to blitz. He forced the right tackle to flinch.
He said something about his leg movement, faking it, making noise. I'm not sure.
And that's going to force a Houck Hardware first down and kind of negate that penalty that happened for Mohawk.
So a little bit of chaos here on the first drive of the second half for the Warriors.
Clock's still moving. We're inside of 3:30.
So 3:30 to go here. Mohawk 1st and 10 at the Carey 30. Mohawk leads 21-14. Warriors need a win to pull themselves into a tie for first place. Klaus fakes the handoff, keeps it right side, gain of 3.
And then Klaus really handled the workload tonight, whether it's on the ground or through the air for Carey.
Well, one thing I'm a little surprised about, and this is the first time I've seen Mohawk all season long. You know, Caden Bish came in with 94 carries on the season, you know, getting 12, 15 carries a game basically. He's only had the ball in his hands 4 times tonight. Averages 10 yards per carry. Gets it in his hands on the swing pass now. Makes the guy miss.
There's going to be a hold on the outside, though.
And that one, as you said, is going to come back with the hold.
Yep. Could have been a hold. It could have been a block in the back. It was on Mason Shimp, the wide receiver there on the outside.
So after a very cleanly played first half, some penalties
here. 4
here.
penalties here in the second half already?
4 penalties, yep. 1 by the Blue Devils and 3 by Mohawk here in the third quarter.
And I'm curious, Mark, you know, we see Mohawk take some deep shots. They scored 2 touchdowns over the top in the first half, and they've tried to kind of go to that swing pass here in half number 2, couple quick slants over the middle. They haven't really looked for Teal over the top, and Phoenix is still out there playing man up with him.
Yeah, Phoenix out there playing man coverage. So is Lucas Smith-Hayward on the other side. Fake. Andon rolling, avoids, throws, caught. Nice throw there. Catch by Teal.
How about the evasiveness from Andon Klaus and then the ability to find his favorite target?
Gain of 12.
Makes it 3rd and manageable now for Mohawk because it's a 3rd and 5.
Tell you what, as I said, first time seeing Mohawk, and I am extremely impressed with Andon Klaus.
You have to be. His mobility, his elusiveness in the pocket. He made a great throw off his back foot in the first half. That throw there here in the second half to get us to a 3rd and manageable, you got to be reimpressed with the kid.
He's got a strong arm, good placement there, and deflected there, knocked down. Great job of reading it was Kyler Bowes. Saw the play developing. They left him untouched. Hands up, made the play. Big time play by the 6'2 senior.
They had the screen set up, and now you're 4th and 5 if you're Mohawk. Now you're in dangerous territory if you're the Warriors.
Well, you're
going for it,
you're
hands
4th
down.
and 5, absolutely. 4th and 5. Again, with the agility of Andon Klaus.
Teal and Patrizi.
Roll him wide. Rolls to his left. Look, stop and go. Double move over the top.
Incomplete.
Just out of the reach
Kiernan.
of Kiernan. Great move out there in the open field. The double move got himself open and he just missed.
Phenomenal throw, by the way, from Andon Klaus. You can't say enough about the young man here in the first 3 quarters, Mark.
Well, and a great route that was ran there.
Kiernan runs a
just a yard off. I mean, what a play. I mean, just almost executed it perfectly, but it dropped. Incomplete, turnover on downs. Carey with the football, a chance to score and either tie it with the extra point or go for 2 and take the lead.
Power eye.
21-14. Toss right side. It's going to be Puckett.
From the back guy, that's probably Mace.
It was Mace.
Yep.
Mace gains 5. As we watch this clock roll, under 1 minute here to go in the quarter number 3. And you can feel
Carey's
the
right
tension.
where they want to be.
You can feel the tension and excitement starting to build here.
A packed house here in Carey tonight at Wentling Field. Not only are the stands full, but look at the sidelines and the standing room only all around the fence.
Phoenix fakes, rolls, throws across his body, and just out of the reach of Bose.
A little play action there from Carey.
They rolled Phoenix to the boundary side of the field. Threw across his body. Bose.
One thing I've noticed, being here last week and now this week, he always goes left.
They love to roll him left on the run and on the
Yeah, I was going to say,
runs.
even on the design run. I think maybe
yeah.
last week he designed one time to the right. Other than that, it's always to his left.
Big third down here for the Blue Devils. 31 seconds to go, quarter number 3. First man through is fake, and handoff goes to Puckett. That was Mace, and he is brought down after a gain of 2.
Patrizzi. How many times have we called his name on defense tonight? He has had a phenomenal evening on the defensive side of things.
He came in with 85 tackles on the season, 5.5 tackles for loss, and he is getting it done tonight. Carey will gladly let this clock finish up quarter number 3. So with that, we are through 3 quarters here at Carey High School. The battle for the Northern 10 will go to the 4th quarter. It will be money time. It's Mohawk 21, Carey 14. You're watching Northern 10 football on the OH Report.
They spend 3 different semesters in an agency learning real world stuff. Then they come back to our seminar and we discuss the academic piece of that and we support them through their journey.
When I started my practicum, I started working with young kids. When I got into that one-on-one counseling with a kid, I just began to kind of have a light bulb moment where everything fell into place and I could direct the conversation, I could ask questions, and I just knew that this is what my education was for.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress, no hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
Welcome to Money Time. 4th quarter action here at Carey High School. 4th quarter gets underway as on a 4th and short, Carey goes for it. Mace Puckett takes it over the left side for a first down. Carey keeps the football as they march towards what could be a tying score. Mark Bollinger along with Josh Banks. Great to be with you again from Carey High School for another great Northern 10 matchup. We saw one a week ago between Carey and Colonel Crawford. Tonight, it's the Blue Devils battling the Warriors. First man through is Bame. Short gain of 3 on the fullback plunge.
Rivalry football at its finest, Mark. Hard-hitting, gritty, and if you're Coach Merschman and the Carey Blue Devils, you are right where you want to be. The football, 4th quarter, eat the clock, tie this game up, and truthfully, don't be surprised if they put it in, if they don't go for 2 to get the win.
Carter Bame, 4 carries on that fullback dive. 10 yards, including the first touchdown of the night for the Blue Devils. 2nd and 7, toss, dash Puckett, right side, and they just run to the football. Great job by Mohawk there. Going to hold him to a gain of about 3. We've not seen Dash break off the big run this week like we did last week.
No, not very many big plays at all, really, for Carey tonight. You had a 14-yarder, and that was it.
14-yarder by Dash, and 18-yarder by Mason. Other than that, everything has been under 10 yards on the ground. The big play through the air was the 40-yarder from Phoenix to Ritter. They're going to call it 3rd and 4. Ball near the 50. Steen
in.
Motions, sets on the left side. They're going to follow him. Puckett, after contact, falls forward, and the yards after contact is enough for another Blue Devil first down.
And every time 24 is on the field, they run to his side. It might only be one play of possession, but when he's on the football field, he is that guy.
Eli Steen, 6'1", 230-pound senior. Struggled throughout the season with a knee injury, but he's out there battling with his buddies, trying to get his team to the goal line and one step closer to a Northern 10 title. Fake up the middle, ball goes to the left side to Mace Puckett for another nice gain on first down.
Upended by Kiernan there.
Gains 5. A methodical march again by the Blue Devil offense.
What Carey does is we're inside of 9 minutes, clock still moving.
We've seen Carey move the football all night in this manner. It's just, can they finish off the drive? There's not going to be a lot of possessions left with the amount of time that's coming off the clock.
First man through again.
And it looked like a face mask. So Boehm with the fullback dive looked like he was able to get near the first down. At the end, it looked like there was a face mask. And it is a face mask against Mohawk at the end of the run. So Carter Boehm runs it for about 5. Face mask at the end, they will mark that off.
Be a 5-yarder incidental.
Oh, they're going to keep going. 15 yards.
I don't know about a 15-yarder. I didn't see a head turn there.
And just like that, the ball is on the 24-yard line. Can the Mohawk defense
do it again?
Get a stop. Handoff. Puckett changes directions, spins, dives, gains 3.
Great tackle by Eli Chevalier again on the inside. He grabbed a hold and did not let go of Mace Puckett.
He's slow getting up. Mace looked like the play was designed to go left side. He didn't see what he liked, so he tried to reverse course, get to the right side. Brought down after a gain of 3. Under 8 minutes to go. Championship on the line.
Welcome in all 300 of you out there watching between YouTube and Facebook. You haven't missed a beat, and it's been a great one.
Handoff, left side. Dash Puckett. Again, short gain, but the ball continues to move closer and closer to the tying touchdown. They'll mark him at the 18.
3rd down and about 4 again.
Again, 4 down territory for the Blue Devils.
No question.
2 plays to gain 4 yards here to keep the potential game time tying drive alive. Blue Devils with a 1-game lead in the Northern 10. Can they pull out the win? Phoenix fakes it, keeps it, follows the blockers. He has room, tries to get to the end zone. Great block by his running backs. Can be driven out of bounds after a gain of 12. And you hadn't seen him run right very much tonight on that play. He goes to the right side, to the short side of the field.
Big first down. First and goal now for Carey at the 6-yard line. No, I'm sorry. They got, the 6.
And here we go again. Deja vu. 4th time we've seen the Blue Devils in this situation. Power I. Handoff. Faked. Phoenix keeps it. Has space. It's a foot race. Great play and tackle.
Brant Kiernan, get out there and make a stop.
It looked like Trip Phoenix had the edge. Instead, Kiernan takes a great angle and holds him to a gain of about 2. Ball just inside the 5.
We've seen Mohawk get 1 stop from this position to end 2 stops in the first half from this exact location. A stop here with the time on the clock could almost seal it for the Warriors.
Handoff. Puckett hits the line, drives. It's just a shoving match right now. A battle of wills and a battle of strength. Just short of the goal line, inside the 1. Third down and goal from about the half-yard line. Carey trailing 21-14. And here comes the big package.
Here comes Steen. I tell you what, don't be surprised.
Steen comes into the game.
Do they hand it to 24? We've seen him convert the 4th down last week.
Well,
that sealed it.
He's going into his familiar blocking position unless they bring him in motion. Handoff, Puckett, left side, touchdown.
Mace Puckett.
From 1 yard out, Mace Puckett brings the Blue Devils to within a point.
When 24 comes in, you know where the football's going, Mark, every single time. It's either last week we seen him convert a big 4th down against Colonel Crawford, and tonight they've run to his side.
Big extra point here. Blue Devils trailing by 1. Kick is up, and Crawford knocks it through, and we have a tie ball game. So trailing 21-7, the Blue Devils have rallied. And we are down to 5:37 to go, dead even at 21 apiece.
They spend 3 different semesters in an agency learning real-world stuff. Then they come back to our seminar and we discuss the academic piece of that, and we support them through their journey.
When I started my practicum, I started working with young kids. When I got into that one-on-one counseling with a kid, I just began to kind of have a light bulb moment where everything fell into place and I could direct the conversation, I could ask questions, and I just knew that this is what my education was for.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress, no hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
Welcome back to Carey High School. Mark Bollinger and Josh Banks. It is the 4th quarter of a tie game in a huge game for Northern 10 bragging rights and a Northern 10 title. Carey jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Mohawk responds with 21 straight to take a 21-7 lead. Carey has answered here in the second half, outscoring Mohawk 14-0 to put us where we're at.
I mean, what more could you ask for in a conference championship battle between 2 rivals in week 9 of the high school football season, and both fighting for playoff position as well?
And, you know, things have kind of been a blur at times with different things going on with the officiating, with some questions, this and that. I believe this is only Mohawk's 2nd drive of the half.
It is. We're going to have a timeout,
and
Mohawk.
Before the first play, Mohawk will take the timeout. So that ball control offense of Carey has produced 2 touchdowns to bring them back to a tie. Mace Puckett with 2 second-half touchdown scores for the Blue Devils has evened this thing up at 21. The question now is, will Andon Klaus and this big play Mohawk offense come up with a drive and a score that could possibly give them a share of the Northern 10 Conference Championship?
Well, and I think the question is if you're Coach Daniel, you don't really want to score quickly. I don't want Carey's offense to touch this ball again if I have anything to do about it.
And if I'm Coach Daniel, I don't care if they get it back as long as I score and get the lead. I'll throw it back onto my defense that gives up 10 points a game and hope that they can get a stop. 1st and 10. Klaus, counter, Bish, met, brought down. Great play there by number 53,
Levi Bolling.
It was Levi Bolling, the sophomore. 6'1", 255 pounds. Wrapped him up. Loss of 1 on the play.
Is that Bish's second or third carry of the half?
Second carry of the half. 5 carries on the night for Bish. Big 65-yarder. Other than that, they've been 7 yards or less. Fake. Klaus drops, looks over the top again, has a guy caught, and again, Teal right there. They're trying to rip the football away from him. They'll finally call him down, but another nice throw over the middle by Klaus.
Yeah, Klaus finds his favorite target again in Teal.
38-yarder.
The big play strikes again for Mohawk.
Now if you're Mohawk, now I think you take your time a little bit and run some clock.
Well, here's the thing. You haven't really successfully run the football all night long. Like you said, keep going.
Aiden Patrizzi, 26 of 29 coming into tonight on extra points. 2 of 2 field goal with a long of 30. So a long of 30.
Got to get to the 13-yard line.
You're looking at 10 to 15-yard line to feel really comfortable with him kicking the ball. Klaus on 1st down with a run of 8.
I tell you what, folks, we got about 350 of you out there watching. You couldn't ask for a better show tonight, Mark. The competitiveness on the field has been phenomenal.
3:45. Clock continues to roll. 2nd and 2. Klaus in the shotgun. Bish beside him. Quarterback run all the way. Left side brought down there by Mace Puckett.
We're going to see if they give him the 1st down. It looks like they'll mark him short. It'll be 3rd and about a nose of the football.
So they'll give him about 1.5 yards. So 3rd and 1. Mohawk and no rush, but an injured player on the field for the Blue Devils, so they will take timeout. Blue Devil player holding his left shoulder. Gets to the training staff and is going to take a knee. We're going to keep it right here while they tend to the injured Carey Blue Devil. If you are just joining us, welcome to Northern 10 football on the OH Report. Mark Bollinger along with Josh Banks coming to you live from Carey High School in what has been an outstanding football game between these two outstanding ball clubs. Carey Blue Devils, losers of their first 3 games of the season, have ripped off 5 straight wins to take control of the Northern 10, including a big win last week against previously undefeated Colonel Crawford. On the other sideline, wearing all white, the Mohawk Warriors. Mohawk 7-1 on the season. 1 game back, needing a win tonight to pull themselves into a tie for first going into week number 10.
And their one loss to Colonel Crawford by 3. And they've rallied all 4 in a row since.
Well, here we go. 3-0, 3 and ticking is our game clock. The play clock is at 25. Warriors gladly going to let that run down a little bit. Under 20 here. Klaus, 2 guys on each side. And the nearest official throws the flag for
I want to say
false start.
I want to know who moved, and I didn't clip a replay
Man, the
there.
Mohawk bench is livid.
And I am going to say this. The officials are down there, Mark, okay? but that is the third flag that guy in particular has thrown against Mohawk, and they keep talking.
And a lot of it is after you see the Carey coaching staff yelling towards him, and then the flag comes out.
He called the sideline warning from over here, the face mask from over here, and now the false start.
Yeah, and not saying they weren't legitimate, just been some big calls. Now it's 3rd and 6. We're under 2.5. Klaus on the quarterback keeper, right side. It's going to be stopped short of the first down, and man, was that 5-yard penalty huge. Without the penalty, that's a first down for Mohawk. Instead, a gain of 2, and it's going to bring up 4th and 4.
And now you got a decision to make if you're Coach Daniel.
Well, the clock is at 2:14. The play clock is under 20. They could run this down to about 150-ish to go before they snap it. It looks like they were trying to draw Carey offsides, and now they're going to call the timeout.
Timeout. Nope.
They called the timeout before the false start.
Yep.
The Warriors were at the line. They were trying to draw Carey offsides. They were never going to snap it. Coach Daniel was right there in the official's ear waiting to call the timeout. Once the play clock ran down, now, one thing that I'm not sure about here is the clock is at 1:35. And I think the clock continued to run a little bit after the timeout.
It should have been at about 1:40.
I was
they're
thinking
resetting it looks like.
It had to be closer to 145, 150 is what I was thinking it would be.
143.
143. Okay, so they reset the game clock to 143.
This is the ball game right here.
Well, if you're Teal, you've been the guy all night on the receiving end. Can you get open here for Andon Klaus? Now they're going to send Kish in motion wide. Throw, caught, enough for the first down.
Yes, it will be.
Enough for the first down.
Yes, a Houck Hardware first down to Brant Kiernan. The confidence that Mohawk has in their offense right now to throw it on 4th and 4 over the middle like that, but they baited him with Teal.
Under a minute and a half, Mohawk about 10 to 15 yards from field goal range, and Carey's going to take the timeout. We will keep it here. Thank you to all of our sponsors, to all of you watching.
400 of them out there watching, Mark.
On a thrilling night here in Carey, Ohio.
And we got 400 between YouTube and Facebook. Let's not forget, the NFHS is also watching tonight. So who knows how many we got watching on there. But boy, has it been a doozy here from Wentling Field.
Our score, Mohawk 21, Carey 21. 1:22 to go in the 4th quarter. Mohawk just converted on a 4th and 4. Move the chains to get the first down on the throw from Andon Klaus to Kiernan. So 1st and 10 for the Warriors. Ball on the Carey 25. And I have no doubt that Mohawk coaching staff has told them this is what all that weight room and conditioning work during the summer was for. Klaus rolls, looks, he's going to keep it, cuts it up, brought down, and he's going to lose one, I think, on the roll or on the run after the rollout.
Yeah, but that's probably the best decision there that Klaus could have made. Didn't force a throw, clock's still moving. We seen you said what, from about 30 is where they want to try to get to for him.
Yep.
Has looked like during his extra points he's had a pretty good leg.
Absolutely. Aiden Patrizzi was 26 of 29 coming in, 3 of 3 tonight. So 29 of 32 extra points on the season. Made both of his field goal attempts, a long of 30. And that's not going to help things with Klaus. A big sack and a huge loss of yardage. Klaus just needed to throw that thing away if he could. He's slow getting up. Timeout on the field. And we will come back after this quick break with and Klaus down. It is 21-21 all. You're watching Friday Night Football on the OH Report.
They spend 3 different semesters in an agency learning real world stuff. Then they come back to our seminar and we discuss the academic piece of that and we support them through their journey.
When I started my practicum, I started working with young kids. When I got into that one-on-one counseling with a kid, I just began to kind of have a light bulb moment where everything fell into place and I could direct the conversation, I could ask questions, and I just knew that this is what my education was for.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress, no hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
Welcome back to Carey High School. Andon Klaus walked off under his own ability there with the injury. Jagger Eckelberry in at quarterback. He's going to throw the deep ball, and it is caught and then dropped right at the end. That ball came out. So Eckelberry comes into the game, throws the deep ball incomplete. Andon Klaus back out on the field, though. So the -1 rushing attempt by Klaus, and then the loss of 13 on the sack has taken Mohawk for sure out of field goal range, as the ball is now on the 39-yard line. They'd had it down to about the 25. It's 4th and 25, 17 seconds to go. We are tied at 21. Mohawk gonna go for it.
Find number 5.
And Carey quickly calls the timeout. And now a late flag is thrown.
They'll pick the flag up.
They're going to pick it up because of the timeout. So Carey was able to get the timeout. Mohawk came out, went 5 wide receiver set, empty backfield, looking to throw the ball deep. They need 25 yards for the first down. We are tied at 21 each, Mohawk and Carey, each team with 1 timeout to go here in regulation.
17 seconds and a dream if you're the Warriors. And if you're Carey, force a stop here and give your offense 1 play.
For Mohawk, definitely looking to throw the ball deep and either get the catch or a pass interference or holding call to get the automatic first down, and then maybe you try the field goal to win it here at the end. If Carey can get a stop, they will probably get a play or two but we may be looking at overtime in this Northern 10 battle. Andon steps up, being chased, throws it, looked like he was across the line of scrimmage. The ball is knocked away and incomplete.
Massive hit.
Big hit there
Boston
by number
Ritter.
12, Boston Ritter. And Andon Klaus was across the line when he threw it, is what they're going to rule.
I mean, if you're Carey, you decline it, and you get the ball back right there.
But a big hit there by Ritter jarred the ball loose. It would not have been enough for the first down, even if the reception counted. But we have a player down for Mohawk. So we will again take a quick break and step away. We will be back to bring you the final 8 second. Well, I'm sorry, the player's getting up, so we're going to keep it right here. So Brandt gets up and runs off the field. They take the penalty.
So they're going to give Mohawk another opportunity. Or is it
a loss of down?
That's what I was going to say. It's beyond the line of scrimmage. Is it a loss of down?
It's a loss of down.
So Carey will get the football on the 44-yard line.
So here we go. 8 seconds to go. 21 all. Carey takes over the football on their own 45-yard line. 55 yards away from a score. They do have one timeout left. They could go something quick and short, 10 to 15-yard gain through the air, get a quick timeout, and then take a shot deep into the end zone. See if they can win it on a Hail Mary.
Yeah, they do have one timeout left.
Trip Phoenix in the gun. 4 wide receivers spread. Phoenix rolls right, looks. It's going to be the last play of regulation, and he runs out of bounds as the clock strikes 0. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to overtime. So with that, the fourth quarter comes to an end. Tie ball game, 21.
Are they going to put time back on the clock?
The Carey coaching staff was. Okay, there we go. It did. It looked like they were going to put time on the clock. But we'll be right back for overtime. You're watching Northern 10 football on the OH Report.
They spend 3 different semesters in an agency learning real-world stuff. Then they come back to our seminar and we discuss the academic piece of that and we support them through their journey.
When I started my practicum, I started working with young kids. When I got into that one-on-one counseling with a kid, I just began to kind of have a light bulb moment where everything fell into place and I could direct the conversation, I could ask questions, and I just knew that this is what my education was for.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress, no hidden fees. That's hard work, honest results.
Friday night football, Northern 10 style on the OH Report, and we are headed to overtime in week 9 in what has billed as the biggest game of the season for these two ball clubs. Carey, undefeated in the N10. Mohawk, 1 game back. Into 4 quarters, 21 all. We go to overtime. Mohawk wins the coin toss. Will play defense first. They're going to know what they have to do when they get the football.
Here we go, folks.
Mohawk on defense. Carey, 1st and 10 on the 20. Quick toss. Puckett, left side. First run of the game, breaks a tackle and gets a first down.
A Houck Hardware first down in overtime for Dash Puckett.
Dash gains 12 on first down. 1st and goal from the 8 for the Blue Devils. Now they'll mark him at the 9. Officials got to get themselves all on the same page here. So 1st and goal from the 9. Steen on the right side. Goes in motion. Sets up behind the left guard. Handoff. Puckett, left side. Puts his head down. Rumbles for a couple.
2nd and goal now from the, what is that?
6.
6. Can Mohawk do it again? That's the big question here, Mark.
Twice tonight, Mohawk has stopped Carey inside the 5. One time in the first half, it was after a huge Carey drive. They shut them down, stopped them. The other time, at the end of the first half, they need a stop here. Tossed. Mace Puckett, right side. Head down, not going to get there. Brought down at about the 3.
Mace Puckett gets about 3 yards. 3rd and goal from the 3 for the Blue Devils.
I'm sorry, that was
Mace.
You
were
Mace.
right.
Yep, okay.
That was Mace.
Sometimes those jerseys roll up a little bit. It's hard to see that 8 and that 0. Power formation again. 3rd and goal in overtime. Phoenix. Handoff. Fullback dive. Touchdown. Carey strikes first. Dash Puckett from 3 yards out in the overtime session. And Carey takes the lead.
Give it to number 40 if you need to cross the plane. Now, if you're Carey, you kick the extra point.
Dash Puckett gets his first touchdown of the night to give Carey the 27-21 lead. Snap, good. Kick up. And it is through. So Carey gets the football first in overtime, and the Blue Devils promptly score. 21 unanswered points for Carey.
We talked about it at halftime. During the halftime show, Carey had to come out and answer. And not only have they answered offensively, their defense has not allowed a single point from the Warriors in the second half, Mark.
Mohawk football. Warriors trailing by 7. The only time they've trailed tonight was early in the football game. Carey came out and scored on a 3-yard touchdown run from Carter Bame to take a 7-0 lead. In the middle part of the game, it was all Mohawk. Now Carey has answered here in the second half and in overtime.
This literally is the ball game for the Mohawk Warriors. You got to put it in.
Andon Klaus back out there for the Warriors. Klaus was injured right at the end of regulation. Looked like a knee injury. He's out there in the shotgun. Hands off. Left side. 15-10. And inside the 5 is Caden Bish.
We haven't called his name much, but when they need it, he goes and gets them 15 yards on first down.
Only his 6th carry of the night, but it was a big one.
Houck Hardware sponsored first down for Mohawk, and it's 1st and goal from the 5.
Caden rumbles for 15, and Mohawk is in business. And then you're also thinking in the back of your minds, if they score, do
Yep.
they go for 2 in the win? Klaus, keeper. Oh, Carey read it the whole way. What a
Luis
play.
Watkins blows it up in the backfield.
Carey was on a all-out run blitz. Watkins brings Klaus down for a loss of 3. What a play by the Blue Devil defense. 2nd and 8. And I say 2nd and 8, it's 2nd and goal. Mohawk has 3 chances to score here, or this one is over. Klaus rolls right. Throws across his body, incomplete. And guess who it was again?
Watkins in there
Louis
again.
Watkins, the junior 6 foot, 200-pound defensive end, makes 2 straight plays in overtime. The Warriors
2 plays
N10
left.
title down to the last 2 plays. 3rd and goal from the 8. Klaus hands to Bish, right side, and he's going to be stopped after a gain of 3. 4th and goal from the 5, and this is the ball game.
Here we go, folks. Buckle up. It all comes down to this.
Celebrating the 50th anniversary of their 1975 state title, the Carey crowd on their feet. And Carey will call the timeout.
If you're Coach Daniel, this is your best play call right here. Whatever you know can get you 5 yards is what you do. The question is that 5-yard guarantee an Andon Klaus scramble? And after the leg injury, can he do that?
That's the issue. Is I think a healthy Andon Klaus, you definitely put him on the move and let him roll out and read. And it's an RPO, run-pass option. Let Klaus make the decision and make the play. He's done it all season long. But with that knee injury that he suffered just a few minutes ago, you haven't seen the explosiveness from him since that injury occurred. The Blue Devils take timeout. Now we resume play. As we said, this is the ball game. I'm sure you got a bunch of Colonel Crawford people and a bunch of Mohawk people all wanting a score. Under center, quick toss, reverse, throw back to the quarterback. Klaus,
he's wide open.
Caught, touchdown.
Touchdown, Mohawk.
They pull out the trick play. Brant Kiernan gets it on the reverse, throws it to Klaus, who snuck out of the backfield. Klaus hauls it in, and Mohawk stuns this Carey crowd.
How about the play call from Coach Daniel there? You go wide, you go reverse pass to the quarterback in the corner of the end zone.
You kind of had a feel that it was something different when Klaus went under center for the first time tonight.
Now, I tell you what, you kick the extra point and you take it to another overtime. If that's what you had to do to get the 5 yards, I'm not risking it. I'm taking my point. I'm going to trust my defense again to get a stop. My heart's racing, Mark.
I really wonder if that play was being saved
for the 2-point conversion.
For the 2-point conversion, if they had scored, if you would have seen that for the 2-point conversion and the win. But if you're Mohawk, exactly like you said, you have to run whatever is your best play in that situation.
Is
and
the
Mohawk
offense coming on the field?
The offense out onto the field after the timeout.
The offense is on the field for the Warriors.
28-27. Carey leads by 1 in overtime. Mohawk scored. They're lined up like they're going for 2. Here we go. Folks, this is it. Klaus
quick toss. Bish, he has the angle, head down, bounces off, touchdown, 2-point conversion is good, and the Mohawk Warriors do it. The improbable win. Mohawk wins 29-25, and the cheers you hear are from the Mohawk sidelines and all of North Robinson.
What a game we had for you from Whitling Field, Mark. We got to get out of here and pick an MVP, sir.
What a night. And what a game between two outstanding ball clubs. We go to overtime. Carey scores first. Mohawk gets the answer on 4th down, and then they go for 2 and convert. Mohawk wins it 29-28. We've got a tie atop the Northern 10 with Carey, Mohawk, and Colonel Crawford. We'll be back for the MVP, the final stats, and everything else. You're watching Friday Night Football, Northern 10 style, on the OH Report.
Well, I think the first thing I would say to recommend this school is that it's affordable and flexible. And then the program itself, I would say that it has a very diverse, broad spectrum of fieldwork and career opportunities. I think the thing that prepared me the most was having that on-site directed practice, so I could actually be in an agency working with real people. And there's a ever-growing need for social work, especially in our community here.
Hi, I'm Eric Gilbert.
And I'm Hannah Gilbert with American Homestead Exteriors.
And together,
we're here for you.
So I'd worked for several years for other contracting companies, and what I saw missing was the true customer focus. I wanted that to be the focus of our company, that we put the customer first no matter what, and that's what's made us successful. Hannah and I joke between us that we share the same brain. We have the same ideas, same thoughts, we have the same direction for the company, we have the same focus. When we're on site, we teach the customers about the roof, the age of the roof, what's going on, maybe what caused the damage, along with siding, windows, or any project we take on.
When you call in, you're talking to me, and I'm getting you scheduled on his calendar to come out and take a look at your property. We like to teach homeowners about their homes as we're walking through them together. I think it's very important. It's the most expensive thing you're ever going to purchase in your lifetime, and you should really understand what is happening to it and how we can help you make it even better than what it was before.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Halloween.
Welcome to the Klaus Construction MVP tonight, and it's none other than senior quarterback N10 Klaus. Let's start with just the obvious here is this Klaus Construction, you kind of know them a little bit, right?
Just a little bit. It's kind of great to get this win and everything. So.
Yeah. So tonight, obviously, 29-28 win in overtime. Let's talk about the play call on 4th and goal from the 5 in which they threw the ball back to you for the touchdown.
Yeah, we came into this game. We started out the year repping that play. We didn't know when to use it, but this was a fantastic play call, and it was just planned out perfect.
Had you guys ever ran that in a game, or was it just all practice reps?
All practice reps.
Well, they executed it tonight at just the right time, able to get that, and then after that, you're down by 1. You guys made the decision. Coach said, we're going to go for 2 in the win. What was the thought process and the feeling on that sideline?
Yeah, before we went out and scored, we knew we were going for 2, and we just had to get the best play call, and we had to get it to our best player.
Well, and they did just that, and they were able to pull out the 29-28 win here at Carey. Now, with the win, you are now tied atop the Northern 10 standings. How much does that mean to you guys tonight?
Yeah, it feels amazing. We knew coming into this year that a lot of people doubted us, and we just came out here knowing we had to fight, and it would be a rough one. So, good win.
It was an outstanding win. As you said, you guys graduated a lot of guys, and, there weren't a lot of high expectations for this club. What has been the difference that has allowed you guys to jump out to this 8-1 record?
I think it's our offensive line and defensive line. They just do fantastic like these.
Well, before we let you get out of here, anybody you want to give a shout-out to on this great night for the Mohawk Warriors?
Levi Till and Brent Carey for sticking it out and just keep going.
Those guys made a couple of great plays, as did this guy, our Klaus Construction MVP, N10 Klaus, caught a touchdown pass, also threw for a couple others. He is our MVP, and most importantly, his team got the W tonight, 29-28 over Carey, to pull into a first-place tie in the Northern 10.
Though. Yeah.
They spend 3 different semesters in an agency learning real-world stuff. Then they come back to our seminar and we discuss the academic piece of that, and we support them through their journey.
When I started my practicum, I started working with young kids. When I got into that one-on-one counseling with a kid, I just began to kind of have a light bulb moment where everything fell into place and I could direct the conversation, I could ask questions, and I just knew that this is what my education was for.
American Homestead Exteriors, a father and daughter team right here in Mansfield. Roofing, siding, windows, gutters. Done right. No stress. No hidden fees. That's hard work honest results.
tonight at Carey High School. We go to overtime, and in overtime, Carey scores first, kicks the extra point. Mohawk answers with a touchdown. They go for two in the win, and they get it. 29-28 is our final. Carey falls to 5-4 on the season, 5-1 in the Northern 10, while Mohawk improves to 8-1 overall and also 5-1 in the Northern 10. What an outstanding ball game we had tonight, Josh, and let's just break it down, take a quick look at our stats, and then we'll get into a little bit of the analysis, and we'll get out of here from Carey High School.
The biggest difference is 1 yard. Carey, 322 total yards of offense, 265 of them on the ground. And how about Mohawk goes for 323, but it's the balance. 174 through the air, 149 on the ground. They only go for 8 first downs. Carey has 17. Mohawk also commits the turnover. Carey has less penalties. Mohawk goes 5 penalties for 40 yards. Carey goes 2 for 10. 29-28 is the legitimate final score here, and I tell you what, we couldn't have asked for a better Friday night.
It just comes down to big plays. Mohawk made them all night. A 64-yard touchdown pass, a 29-yard touchdown run, a 39-yard touchdown pass, plus a 65-yard run in the middle there just for field position. It was the big plays all night that gave Mohawk a chance to win it in overtime.
And how about the play to end it, the trick play that ends up in an Andon Klaus touchdown reception. Andon Klaus is responsible for all 4 of the Warrior touchdowns. Passing, receiving, rushing. The young man does it all, Mark.
Yeah, give him the hat trick. 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 receiving touchdown. 4 touchdowns total for Andon Klaus. And what I loved most about the interview with him during the MVP conversation was the fact that their coaching staff, Coach Daniel, told those kids, listen, we're going for 2. There was no doubt in their minds that they scored, they were going for the win, and that was the mindset they had, and it paid off with a great play call on 4th and goal from the 5.
And how about the fact that we didn't call Caden Bish's name a bunch tonight, but in overtime, he started it off with a 15-yard rush, and then he rushes in the game-winning 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I had him for only 7 carries on the night, but when they needed the biggest play of the night, the ball went to Bish. Bish with the 3-yard run on the 2-point conversion. It is good. It was the game winner. Walk it off, Mohawk Warriors. So tonight, in a battle for first place, Mohawk goes on the road to Carey and comes out victorious. 29-28 in overtime. The Warriors, Colonel Crawford Eagles, and Carey Blue Devils now all tied at the top of the Northern 10. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for their help in bringing you this broadcast tonight. A special thanks to all the coaches and athletic directors and everyone involved in helping get us information and take care of us tonight. And a special thanks to the Carey Athletic Department and the Carey Athletic Boosters for all their hospitality. For Josh Banks, I am Mark Bollinger. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night, everybody.